channel. Another vlog today. It's going to be an interesting day. What a gorgeous day it is. Very beautiful out. See behind me? To meet up with one of my friends in about 15-20 minutes and check the view here. Pretty nice, and I like it with the sun glazing right here. Pretty nice. So yeah, anyway, like I was saying, gonna be waiting to meet up with my friend Justin. We're gonna be vlogging today. So here's a little bit of some history here that I'll show you. Just give me 1 second. So this is the Glenstorne Lodge, which I am technically in front of. I'll show you in a second. But this is what it used to look like, the original Glenstorne Lodge. And then another picture of it, a little different there. And then that's what it looks like today. Or that's what it looks like as of now. But it says the city of Cornwall and the 3 united counties have for nearly a century provided for the elderly and disadvantages. In 1913, the counties, as required by provincial law, built a house of refuge. There. For the care of the elderly poor, this imposing structure was classically inspired. Architectural details considered of a residential environment, completed with livestock and garden, the residents could remain active and self-sufficient. This complex on 11th Street was replaced by a new building located on Montreal Road, east of the city in 1952. So they moved from 11th Street all the way to the east end on Montreal Road in 1952. After much debate, a new facility was built on the same site in 1994, and ownership transformed to the city of Cornwall. Today, the lodge offers an extensive program of residential and community services for seniors. And it just talks a little bit about more information about the House of Refuge in Cornwall, and then in French over here. But it's quite interesting, and if we look at this picture right here, and this is what it looks like right there. Right over here. So that's what Glenstorne Lodge looks like as of today. So we have finally arrived with my friend Justin. Justin, say hi.
Hello. So
we have arrived, and now we're going to start doing some captures of historics of our town, Cornwall. We have arrived at our first plaque, which is the cotton mills. But unfortunately, a few years ago, I think back in 2010, there was a fire, and unfortunately they burnt them down. Don't know who, but they're building right now where the cotton mills used to be some nice apartments. So it's interesting what used to be here and there at the same time. Anyways, guys, we'll keep you posted for more history. See ya. So we are just looking at this plaque and this plaque of history of our town, and this plaque right here is showing the view what this used to be. So hard to believe this was all part of this was water.
Yeah, right there on the
oh yeah, right here, showing from like this area here.
Here we were right here.
Yeah, so we would be taking the bike path right around here, and there was a bridge back then to come here, but there's
That would be right there.
hard to believe right there. Just crazy. Love the history. And this would have been taken from this angle all the way here, so there would have been a harbor here. Now there's trees, bike path, and a road. Anyway, it's quite interesting. Stay tuned, guys, for more. So this pretty much talks about a little bit of the, I guess, the same area as the docks over here, I would say, but there's a picture here that they named this point called the Petit Point, but also I think was called the Portage Point. But the cotton mills were, as you can see, right up here. So that would have been way over that way, where the cotton mills are. Well, where they used to be. And good to the order of for towing. So more little details there.
Scared me.
And then a map over there. Point Malagine. I'm pronouncing that right. Yeah, it's quite interesting. I did read a little bit here in English and in French, but it's too bad can't really read it that well. But anyway, just to show some history. All right, guys, stay tuned as we find more history. All right, Justin?
Yeah.
Okay. Stay tuned, guys. So here's another plaque of what was known as the post office. It was built in 1883, and it looks to where this yellow building, which is the Seaway building now, but that's where the original post office used to be, which is this building that you're looking at here. And what's interesting is these pieces, so this one says post, that one says office, that one says 1883, and this one says custom. So it shows where these four pieces were located on the building here of the post office. And here's where they are. They saved them over the years. So that's post office right there. If you have an angle of it right there. And they're in a special, they're protected for sure.
I don't know what's behind you.
And then there's the other ones over here. I'll stop and get the other two pieces that they saved from the original post office. So there's custom in 1883. So that's when the original post office was built. Oh yeah, and back on the street back here for Pitt, this is Water Street that we're looking at. Oh yeah, and here's the clock tower. But I think they saved that from the post office.
We should go
clock.
show them on the thing.
What's that?
We should go show them on the thing how the part that they cut off.
Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah.
That's crazy.
Oh, it is. And we were just talking, me and my friend Justin, we were thinking that they cut this part off and they saved that piece for the clock tower, which is up here. You can tell how short it is. And there's some more history in there as well that we
That's
could
the
show
thing
you.
we're talking about.
Here is back in the day they would have trains. So this would be Pitt Street and 2nd Street, but it's very interesting history.
What kind of cars are those?
So here's a little bit of some history here, but looking at, here is the canal. It's the Cornwall jailhouse, which is right there. But back then, I think this was along where the Lamru Park area is, to our side here. But that's where it stands today. There's a lot of military group people standing, and that's the canal. And it talks about Second, First World War. Quite interesting. Read there. And then over here it talks about the history of the Cornwall Post Office, which we did read a little bit about earlier. And that's when they were demolishing it in 1955. And then this would be in French of it. Talks a little bit more. But then that's the Seaway building, what it looks like today. As the post office was replaced by the Seaway headquarter building to the center left. And then we have another train picture here, Justin. Isn't that cool?
Yeah.
The post office of the clock tower at 2nd and 2nd Street dominates the skyline at the left. to the left, while the twin peak roof of the Rosemore Hotel, as built by L.A. Ross, is on the right. Well, that's quite interesting. And over here it talks about what the canal used to look like. So we're standing just where we are along the canal. Clock tower, I'd say, would be around here where that bridge is. And it talks about the length of the canal and the getaway clock tower. Got a little bit of a read there. And then also talks about where the original Hotel Dieu was. Get more when it was demolished, and so forth. Yeah, it talks with more information on the canal here, which is quite interesting. Stay tuned for more, guys. So this is where the canal took place, right in front of this plaque. So it ran from here. You can see this is the edge where these rocks are, and this would have been all water. And there would have been a bridge that would have connected from here to there, I would say, from this picture. But very interesting. Can you imagine all of this would be water, and today there's no water? It's crazy. Stay tuned, guys. Just talking about the
bridge that we found on here.
Bridge that we found on the plaque here, about the canal.
Like the one in the background.
Yeah, the one in the background that you see right there. Yeah. And which kind of shows in that direction. But we have a new current bridge that was built, I would say, 2-3 years ago. And then we had one that was called the Seaway International Bridge, which we will show you as we get there. And there was another bridge, which I think that was called, the one in the picture here, the Roosevelt Bridge, which is a little further. And I think that was a train bridge, I think, at one time.
I think so.
Because there's like a wheel part of the bridge that's in the water.
Doesn't it keep moving or something, or is it the water keeps going over it?
The water keeps going over it. So stay tuned, guys, for more fun history. So what this plaque says here is this right here. This home was located on 2nd Street, and now it's located in the Water Street area near the Lamoureux Park, and that's what that is currently today. Over the years, they would have trucks where this was located on 2nd Street, and they lifted this building all the way to Water Street, and they put it here. So it shows a lot of, and it tells it right from this picture right here. On Saturday, January 8, 2000. Oh, so I was about 4 years old when this took place. It took 4 hours, 32 minutes, and 5 seconds to move the 2-story of the wood house, weighed 606 tons, from 731 2nd Street West to Lamoureux Park. Wow.
And they were lifted because of the power dam.
That's right. It does, and they do talk more about it too at the power dam. But that's quite interesting. And I think this also talks about this man here. His name is Captain William D. Wood, Cornwall Troops and Cavalry, 1862 to 1865. William's son Walter lived in this wood house until his death in 1952. Wow. So he would have passed away in this house, but this house was still on 2nd Street. That's quite interesting, and this is where it's currently, where it is today. Lots of good history. Stay tuned for more. Plaque here talks about the original Hotel Dieu Hospital. It was named after this lady here, who was a Sister MacDonnell. And then I guess for this hospital here, and this man was named John Sandfield MacDonald. And there's a picture of him there, and it shows more information. But this is where the hospital took place. Right in front of us here. It's not the hospital anymore, but back then is what it used to be. Very interesting though. But that's what this building shows right here on the plaque. And it's very sad though when you read about it, because but you get a good gist of it. Very interesting history. And there's another picture of it up top of what it used to look like around 1900. There's some more information there. The Ivy Hall, named after this man. And that was probably one of the sisters from that other picture I showed you.
That one's the one further?
It's hard to say. Stay tuned, guys, for more history. Here is a small pond. I used to skate on this with my brother and my dad a few years ago on this pond, but we were just reading a plaque and we didn't know that there are salamanders. According to the poster, which I will show you, hold on a second. According to this poster here, we didn't know that there were these guys, blue spotted salamanders. Interesting. Here's some history of the bridges. So to my left we have the American Bridge, and to my right was what this used to be. This is one of the pillars of the bridge. Was the Seaway International Bridge that would get you from Canada to the United States. But they tore this down in mid-2000, and well, we'll show you more information on the other side because there's some more information. I will also show you another plaque. Here's another plaque of when this bridge was opened. The official opening, Seaway International Bridge, Tuesday, July 3rd, 2 days after Canada Day, 1962. And it has some pictures of what the bridge looked like. So there would be Brookdale right here. And there's the bridge that would go to from Canada to the United States. And there's a different angle of it. And then different other pictures here, different photos or angles of the bridge. And this is another bridge over here. I think that's the Roosevelt Bridge, which we'll see over there. And there's another picture of the... but here's something interesting that my friend pointed out. They built this. This is new. Get an angle of me walking on it. There's the view of the St. Lawrence River, but with the new bridge. And these are the old pillars right here that they took down. And over here is the old pillar from the old bridge that I guess they're gonna keep, but it's like a lookout, which is pretty amazing. Stay tuned for more, guys. Demolishing the old bridge. I remember that time, and I was just talking to my friend Justin. This is around the time we were just finishing high school, and I was just starting college, and yeah, we graduated around these years, so it's interesting how time flies. So here's what the angle of the bridge, the new bridge, looks like with the old pillar from the old bridge. Nice view of it here. Good angle, I should say. But that's what it looks like. But down there, it shows, if you want to check it out, there's history about this. Must recommend. Stay tuned for more, guys. Also, something to mention, the reason why they built this old bridge with, where, as you see from this tall pillar, was back in the day they thought they would be able to bring tall ships over onto the seaway. But unfortunately, they weren't able to do that anymore. So that's why they tore it down and they built one of these lower bridges. But it's still nice, but it's good to look back. Stay tuned. So this is what shows here on the plaque is the paper mill, but also known as Domtar, what used to be around this whole area here. You can see the two smoke stacks in front here. And the reason why they are still up is because there's some asbestos and other kind of chemicals that you want to find a safe way to, so it doesn't spread in the air, because it's not, asbestos and other chemicals are not, they're very dangerous and very high at risk if people catch that. So, but it's just interesting. And here's part of the canal along here. So the canal went pretty long throughout the whole city, and there's back to view the city. You can see Cornwall over there. So that's Cornwall, and there's where the bridge, you get to see where the high bridge used to be right up top. They demolished that, and that bridge over there connects to the new bridge. So it's quite interesting to see what all this was back in history, but I love it. History is a great thing. Alright guys, we will wrap it from here, but stay tuned possibly next Thursday. Yeah, so stay tuned for next Thursday, and my friend and I, Justin and I, will do more recap on the history of.
We'll keep doing these.
Keep doing, yeah, exactly. But we'll do more eventually. Stay tuned, guys.
Yeah.
Hey guys, so I hope you enjoyed that. Great history. Stay tuned for next Thursday, and we will continue more viewing the history of our town. And yeah, so stay tuned for next Thursday. What they've had a tour boat here along the St. Lawrence, but a lot talks about this interesting place, which I like to look up. But yeah, it's pretty cool.
What was the thing?
But yeah, there's more information about it, which is pretty cool. So here's some information. This boat was called the Algorian Boat, as you see right there. And it talks about that it had traveled from between Niagara Falls, Toronto, Kingston, Montreal, Quebec, Murray's Bay, Rivière-du-Loup, Tadoussac, and Haha Bay, which is an interesting name. There's some more information there that talks about the boat. So it would have came to Cornwall at some time.
Probably passed by.
Yeah, that's what it looks like. Here's another plaque that talks about what our town was called before, and it shows here the founding of New Johnstown. So it talks about, so before Cornwall was named, they called this place Johnstown, and this man was named after Sir John Johnson, loyal commander and founder of Cornwall. So that's interesting. A little bit about the area, like a mapping. Yeah,
And that's what it looked like.
that's what it looked like back then. Around 1783. Early 1784. So I'm at the Power Dam, which also known for the Ontario Power Dam, which looks out to the St. Lawrence River right there. So this is the actual dam right here. But this plaque here talks about, there's three plaques. This one talks about the Mohawk people of Akwesasne, so I'll give you a little read on that right there. one talks about the construction of the Moses Saunders Power Dam, which looks out to this right here. And I'll give you a little read. So it talks about the power project construction. It began in 1954, and the generation station was commissioned on July 4th, 1958. At its peak in 1957, the project employed an impressive workforce of over 11,600 people. The Ontario Hydro and New York State Power Authority construction and engineering forces united to complete this project on schedule. Working together across a friendly frontier, they overcame obstacles and temporary setbacks. The construction grand finale occurred on September 5th, 1958, when the project partners paused for a dedication ceremony at the international boundary of the giant power dam. And I'll show a few pictures here. Building the bottom part of the dam. Very interesting. And then this is another plaque here referring to the dam itself. But it talks about some current pictures here of the dam. And this building right here looks to behind me. This is the building here. I'll bike around and you'll get to see the front of the building, what it looks like. So that's part of it. I will show you the other part. 1 second. Stand by. So this is what the front of the power dam looks like. This is the place of this is called the Saunders Hydro Dam Visiting Center. I always like to call it the Ontario Power Dam Center, or the also known as the Power Dam Center, but that's the facility there. I've been in it. I would recommend it someday. It's a great opportunity to see a lot of history in there as well, and yeah, so I'd recommend it. So we have arrived at a place called the Lost Villages. Here's another plaque, and around this area, which I will show you, there was a church. That I will give you a read here. It says the woodlands located midway between Barron's Point and Dixon's Landing along Highway 2, or Highway number 2, was situated on the shore of the St. Lawrence River, opposite Croyles Island. Woodlands may have been named because of the wooden shoreline in the I can't even pronounce that. Or because of the cordwood stacked on the dock and used as fuel for steamships during the extinction. Woodlands boats and post office general store operated the fix. Anyway, it's a pretty interesting read, guys. So yeah, and there's some pictures here. So here's another plaque. I'll let you guys have a chance to read this. Very interesting. And here's some pictures. An original farm home. I'm assuming that these people that live there. But it's very interesting. I'll show you what this is attached to. here's one of the homesteads from that plaque that I showed you from my last video. It's attached to this house here, but it says up top the Forbes Memorial Reading Room 1901. Yeah, and oh, there's also another house over here. Let me check that out. And this side, very interesting. Yeah, this place is called the Lost Villages. And this is another homestead, I believe. Pretty cool though. But yeah. What it looks like from a little bit back, but very interesting area. The old fences and stuff. But yeah, oh, there's an anchor over here. I didn't see that. Right there. It's pretty cool. That shows a lot of history. Alright, so we'll, oh, and there's some pretty fall colors over here. Especially this one. Orange. Orange is a good color. Alright, we will, I'll show you more around here. An old barn. I was just in it, but I'll just kind of show you. There was an old skidoo or some kind of old machinery right there. Took pictures of it, but I forgot to record it. Like, there's a hole right there, and you can kind of see the logistics of it. But I think that would be an old skidoo plow that they would have used back in the day. But yeah, the old lights. You can kind of see it from the outside. Like right over here, let's see. Looks like through the windows, but it's hard to see. I like that look. It's pretty nice. Alright, stay tuned for more. So you can see the steeple up top. It's not a church anymore, but it was a church at one time. I'll just show you the front of it here. Right there. I don't know. Well, actually, yeah, it does look like the front, but it's an old church located here at the Lost Villages. Little lantern, little light entrance. That's probably where people would come to mass. And there's a plaque here. Alt Park to the people of the township of Cornwall and Lebanon. Oh, okay. Yeah. Alright, I'll show you this next building. School, I would say so. Yeah, this would have been, I think, an old school at one point. The old bell at the top, yeah. And back in those days, a lot of kids would, I mean, like probably our grandparents' generation would go here. It was a much different timing though. That's pretty nice. Pretty nice, nice area. Nice, stay tuned for more, guys. That's pretty much the area of the Lost Villages. I'll try to get from the road here side view of the whole area if I can record it. Just give me a second here. So this is the whole view of the Lost Villages. Unfortunately, I couldn't get to that, like an old barnish kind of thing, because there were people, there was a photographer taking pictures. There's some other old homes over here maybe we could go and check out. Stand by. So here is an old grocery store. So the name of it says here H. Manson GP Lapierre Grocery. This almost reminds me of my great-grandfather when he owned and worked in his own grocery store. in his hometown in Minto, New Brunswick, where my family was from. But it's quite interesting. And then over there is we'll go closer to it. So this is a Moulinette station. So this Grand Trunk Canadian National Railway Station was once located at Moulinette, Ontario, about 1.5 miles southwest, sorry guys, of this location. It was through the effect of John G. Stetzinger, a member of the Parliament for Stormont from 1896 to 1900, an influential businessman in Moulinette and Vintisty, that this station was erected around 1906 on land purchased. It's quite interesting, guys. So this was an original train station, and look how small it is. Back in those days, it was like a small building, right? But there's some interesting pieces over here, which probably were a part of the station. I don't know exactly. Oh, there's my shadow. Hi. Yeah, so I think these were pieces from it. Doesn't talk about it much, but it's quite interesting. All right, guys, stay tuned for more. So here is another plaque which talks about there was a bridge here at one point, which I will show you. I'm sorry if I wasn't too close. It's kind of awkward where this rock is. But there was a bridge, so this is what it looked like right here. That was located where these two barges are floating in the water here. Right there. So there was a bridge that was there. And there's an interesting piece that fell in the water, which is a wheel that's dragging. And it fell in the water, but it's kind of cool. It's still there. Pieces of history. So I thought you guys would like that. Oh, there's some birds on the old bridge, the old birds. Yeah, I thought that was kind of interesting to show you, but yeah, that's what this is here. And there's pictures of the bridge right there. It's called the Roosevelt Bridge. Across from New York Central, it was a railway bridge. It says it right on the title there. And then the Seaway International Bridge, which we're going to come up to, they tore that down, but they built a lower bridge right there. Stay tuned for more.